It's been a long time since I've talked about Ryan Trahan on my channel, and wow, what a difference a couple years can make, because his channel has absolutely blown up, clearly. You may remember me and a lot of other people talking about him and his wife Haley back in 2019 and 2020. These two faced a lot of backlash on several occasions during those years. They're both really religious and proud to believe in their beliefs and share that with the world. Haley had a podcast, and they both talked about it very publicly on their family channel that they shared called Trey Family, and on their individual channels. They believed in waiting for marriage, and people felt like they were shaming those who didn't wait to, before marriage, and also felt like Haley was spreading out bad information about birth control. The two were also called out after having taken a vacation to Greece, where when they came home, Haley made a video talking about how terrible it was there and how bad the people were, how rude everyone was. It was so boring and not as fun as Instagram made it out to be, and encouraged people not to go there.
This is just a mini review of Santorini, just in case you see the Instagram pictures and you've always wanted to go there. I highly discourage you from going to Greece. Not only are they economically struggling and just the government is kind of struggling right now, but it's just not fun. I don't know, there's nothing to do there because there's no beach. It's just a cliff. So there's shopping, but then you can barely even maneuver through the streets because it's so crowded. And then if you're on the outside of it, it's really bare and just looks like flat land that's it's just not that pretty. Or you're in it and it's too crowded and there's nothing to do. So Santorini is not as pretty as the Instagram bloggers make it seem. So that's just a little insight in case you were wondering, because I feel like that's pretty surprising to a lot of people to hear, because it's on a lot of people's bucket list. So that's just my review of it.
They were also 19 when all this was going down, and people were just annoyed that they were complaining about things that they should be appreciative of, and also the inconveniences that they did face on that trip were at the fault of their own for not knowing things like the time change.
I booked from London to home because those are the only nonstop flights. So I booked a flight from Greece to London. That flight was on September 7th, nighttime. We would leave at around midnight and we would land in London at 2 a.m. The flights from London to home left at 10 a.m. on September 7th. I don't know if you just caught that, but I definitely didn't when we were booking it, because 10 a.m. on September 7th would be the day before, because our flight from Santorini to London left at midnight on September 7th and landed at 2 a.m., which then becomes September 8th. So what I meant to do was book a flight from London to home on September 8th at 10 a.m. But the flight was 10 a.m. on September 7th, the day before.
The last thing that really had people upset at them and ended their Trey Fam shared couples channel was their wedding. The two of them did get married though. They basically vlogged everything leading up to their wedding. Every single day they would post a video of going to try on the tuxes, asking, people to be their groomsmen, bachelorette parties, wedding dress shopping, all of this stuff. And we're talking peak COVID here, really, really peak COVID, when everybody was getting mad at anybody that was going outside. This was what was going on. They were, trying to get married. After their bachelor and bachelorette party, they did not post at all. And everyone was like, usually that means the wedding is right around the corner. And it did mean that. It really did mean that, because they actually got married and hid it from the internet, or at least they tried to. They had a maskless wedding in Texas, and they did get caught because guests posted photos from their wedding. But yeah, them lying to their audience and trying to cover up their COVID wedding didn't sit right with a lot of people, and it made them look really bad. So when they finally did fess up and admit to it and apologize, people were just yeah, that this just sucks and it wasn't a good look for you.
This is a video that we should have made about 4 or 5 months ago. So we are married. We got married in November of 2020, which was obviously during the pandemic, and most people were not wearing masks.
Revealed that we have just cowered away from acknowledging it and addressing this for such a long time. The thing is, we don't have a reasonable explanation, and that's something that we've had to come to terms with, because
there's no excuse for this. At the end of the day, we were so set on getting married and so excited about it that we blinded ourselves to what's actually happening in the world, and we chose to be selfish and we chose to make that decision anyways. What we did was reckless. It was honestly just unkind. It's so apathetic to the current state that the entire world is in right now.
People just really wish that they didn't lie. That was the worst part about it all. Honestly, it made it so much more of a spectacle of them getting married instead of them just like posting it. Because I think everybody just assumed that they were going to get married, but them lying about it made it seem like, oh, we know we're doing something bad, so we're just gonna hide it. And that is what made it so bad.
And I feel like both of us had this ego when we started creating videos. We thought we were so mature. We thought we were like knew so much more than other people our age, and this is just the prime example of that. Like, this was literally the epitome of what that was to us. We put ourselves first before a world that's literally in pain right now.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I feel like we're still in such an immature place, and we have so much growing to do now, and before we couldn't have sat here and said that.
The decisions that we made were so prideful, and just thinking that we could somehow be afforded a wedding whenever all of this is going on. It's something that we regret so much now, and it's something that I wish, it seems so simple to me now, like obviously don't do that, and we did it, and I can't go back and change that decision anymore. And so I feel like the only way now that we can actually do something tangible to just do something about it is to donate to a few nonprofit COVID relief organizations.
Years have passed though, and the two of them seem much different from a few years ago when all of that was going on. They both took a step back from social media, reevaluated their family life, and oh my goodness, you guys, have things changed. In the last year, Ryan has grown his channel to insane numbers. When all the drama was going down with people calling him and Haley out, he was losing thousands of followers. So was she. And I think he maybe had like 1 million, 2 million followers then. But the fact that this month alone he gained 2 million subscribers, it's crazy. Times have changed. Last May really kicked off his career, and he started growing like crazy after months of losing subscribers or breaking even on subscribers. He was gaining hundreds of thousands at a time, and it was all because of his content. People were fascinated by what he was coming up with, and they were so entertained. He started a series where he was trying to survive on a penny for a certain amount of time, and each video he was also trying to raise money to different organizations such as the Texas Food Bank and Feeding America. These videos were watched by tens of millions of people, and in the last 30 days, he has been trying to survive on a penny. During that time, he has raised over $1 million for Feeding America, and that equaled out to be over 12 million meals donated. His goal was to travel across America, only starting off with 1 penny, and he was going to try and find his way to Mr. Beast and deliver him a penny.
We also got so many more donations today. Guys, today is the day that we broke $1 million raised for Feeding America. My goal for this fundraiser was $100,000. And I truly, like when I started it, I had no clue where that money was gonna come from, how we were gonna do it. But I said, let's have an ambitious goal, because this is gonna be a really hard thing that we do. And I want it to be a goal that feels worthwhile and it feels exciting. And you guys said, let's 10x that. I just want you guys to know that from everyone who's donated $1 to $100,000, and to everyone who hasn't been able to donate and just watched or subscribed, you are a part of something that is so beautiful and so spectacular and is helping millions and millions of people.
So along the way, he had to find different ways to make money and save money because there were things that were going to be bumps in the road. He created incentives to give people motivation to donate. If you donated $1,000, you would basically get a shout out. Your name would be added to the end screen of the videos. $5,000 got you a shout out. $50,000 was the Great Reset, you guys, which basically resets him back to a penny. So any money that he had earned up until then, he would lose and he would have to start back from a penny. Then there was the Meme Lore trophy, and $100,000 gave you the right to have him get tattooed, which who knows if that's actually gonna happen. Now, the Great Reset has been activated several times throughout this month-long series, which is crazy that he's been able to get so many people to donate that amount of money. I've been watching it almost every day, and it's pretty fascinating to see how he's managed to come up with new ways to make money or prevent being set back by the Great Reset, like buying gift cards for food so he doesn't have to focus on spending whatever money he makes after going back to the penny on food. There are people questioning the process, like if he's actually sleeping in his hammock or if he's just going back to a hotel with his crew at the end of the night, or how does he charge his phone. But ultimately, I think he's raised so much money and he is using his channel for good. And even though I know him and his wife certainly don't have the same views I have on certain issues, especially right now going on in the world, I do have to say that I am impressed by the series, impressed by his growth on YouTube. And yeah, when I saw that he was growing so fast, I was like, wait, this is literally not the same person that I was talking about that had the COVID wedding. Like, there's just no way. It just wasn't. I was shocked, you guys. And to see how he's blown up, I mean, it's crazy. So I want to know, have you guys been watching Ryan's channel? And if you have, did you know he was ever in drama? Because it's kind of crazy to think about. And if you guys remember that drama when I talked about it years ago, can you believe this? Like, I kind of can't believe it. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video.